the calendar turns, and hopefully my luck turns. I lost 3 one-run games yesterday. Let's see if we can get the mojo back. Some days feel worse than others, right? You lose. It's like we all have losing days. I mean, we're not Twitter handicappers or anything. It's like I had a Twitter guy, right, that spammed me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 computers that I use on a regular basis, and I have probably because I mean in this room right here, I have 2, that I use every day, and it's like. And then I have my other one that I do my editing on. Then I have, another one on the couch. I have another one that I use just for personal stuff, right? And then I have one in the bedroom next to the bed in case I wake up in the middle of the night and feel like I have to check everything. So, which is every day. So I get some spammer on our YouTube, right? Like a week ago, something picks, right? And I look at some cartoon guy and he's got some like long explanations, and he puts this comment on every one of my videos. Okay. And he puts his Twitter. So I have the Twitter account open, on my computer on one of these things just to see exactly what this is. Of course I block the guy and do whatever, right? And then I have the Twitter account open on one of the computers. And so today I'm like shifting around windows on the computer and I just happened to pass by that page, right, that I had opened with his Twitter account. This account does not exist. Some cartoon guy, right? It's like, that's the difference, man. It's like, it's like, I don't understand why the Reds put Doolittle in yesterday. I still don't understand that move. 2 outs in the 9th inning. You got a guy that struck out, 2 guys. Javi Baez, right? And you put in Doolittle. I mean, what was that move? With 2 outs. It's like, this guy's not good.
I think it was going too much by the book.
Right, too much.
Tom Smith was struggling against lefties, but still, I mean, you got a guy that just is on a roll.
He's rolling. It's like overmanage.
Yeah, that's overmanage.
Billy Beane, they never look at righty lefty. They never look at that stuff. They do not care. Do not care, man. The whole Bill James system does not take into account righty lefty. Does not care, man. Does not care. Does not matter. Does not matter. It's like, that was ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And then you see with the Mariners what trading away your bullpen looks like. Looks like 417 feet.
Yeah, I thought I was dead in that Mets game. And then I thought 2 outs, there's 2 strikes on the guy. I'm like, God damn it. I'm going to go 0-3. Got rescued.
Anthony Rizzo can hit the Marlins. See what he does against the Rays and the Red Sox, the teams they need to be, because the Yankees have really played like crap against those teams, right? That's why they're out of it. The issue for the Yankees is they're still out of it. They've won 2 in a row, whatever, against the Marlins. They're still out of it. And, I mean, Baez hit a home run, too, yesterday. But he struck out in the 9th inning when they needed him, right? But Rizzo has hit well. That's for sure. Anyways, got 15 games today. Sit here, wait for someone to say something.
I was thinking about Albert Alzolay. I was just thinking that first set of games.
All right. I guess we'll go to
It's only 2 games for Rizzo. Maybe he got a little rejuvenated, but
no, he definitely looks rejuvenated. Not only the home run, he also scored another run, in that game. So I mean, I think he reached base every time he was up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also had a pickoff play at first base that was huge. But the thing is that it just the more that someone plays outside of their baseball card, the worse the other side of it is going to be to get them down to those numbers. And we know this guy's a stiff. We know that. So you just continue.
That's a harsh word, stiff. A stiff is like.
Well, he cost teams games. He cost
so far
them games.
His first two, he's helped win the game.
Yeah, well, they played the Marlins. I tell you what. You got Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, and company, and you can't beat this Marlins team. You know, you got some serious freaking issues. The fact that they could only beat them 4-2, they had, how many runners did they leave on base in that game? 135? I mean, it was, seriously, Joey Gallo, this guy stinks. He's terrible. He's not an upgrade over anything.
No. That I'll agree with. Joey Gallo's
Rizzo's had 2 good games, but I got news for you. You're beating the Marlins 4-2 in a game like that. There's nothing to really be pounding your chest about. I'll tell you that much.
Now we'll see how they do against the Rays and Red Sox.
And anybody else. What about the Astros?
Oh, the Blue Jays.
What about the Astros or the Jays or any team like that?
Toronto's got good 4 starting pitchers that are pretty
I'm
good.
going back on the Marlins reverse run line again, man. I just think it's there. It's there. All you got to do is hit one of them. Right?
Yeah, I'd like to see. I guess it's somebody competent starting today. So
is Luzardo starting today?
There's no one has been announced.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a 7 on the game for a total.
Yeah.
With Montgomery pitching, so it's got to be someone good.
When was the last time Lopez was out there?
Been a while.
Maybe it's Pop. Maybe it's Lopez. It'd be nice if they told you.
It would be nice if they told you. The White Sox haven't announced their starter either.
Yeah, well, that's an automatic Indians play for. It doesn't matter who it is.
I doubt they're going to hit like that again. Michael Kopech, man. Oh my God, he got crushed.
Cal Quantrill's been okay.
Yeah, he was good last time out. It was one of those games where he pitched well and then the bullpen collapsed on him.
I think the White Sox win by a run today. So.
Could be Alcantara for the Marlins.
Yeah, I think
I think that's who it's going to be.
Yeah, with that total, it's probably
yeah. He's going to mow down the Yankees pretty easily. That's my guess.
I like the under in that one.
Under 7. But yeah, the Yankees can't score with runners in scoring position, so you have.
Yeah.
And the Marlins, Aguilar didn't play yesterday, so. Got to figure he'll be back in the lineup. It's like their best player's not playing. Oh well. Went 4-2. Ronaldo Lopez listed as a starter for the White Sox now.
Oof.
Oh well. It's the way that it is.
That can't be. Oh yeah, the line is down though. I thought they had Lopez in as a -200 pitcher.
Yeah, I got an email from this E. Harris that they couldn't find the VIP show. It's under the regular videos. I've said it in 3 different emails. It's there. We did it as a regular free video, so it's like it was there for everybody. My best bets are in the premium area, and we make that very, very clear. If you're asking for what our best bets are, my best bets are always my premium picks. The worst. The bullpens now. It's like after these trades. It's like, oof. Brutal. All right. You got the Pirates and the Phillies, Nationals and the Cubs, and the Royals and the Blue Jays. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to go with my boy Albert Alzolay. I think Fetty's been lit up like a Roman candle. And not that Alzolay is an all-star, that's for damn sure. But I think the Cubs have the better starting pitcher going today. And they played well yesterday. It's not a game I'm selling my house to bet. Just a small lean to the Chicago Cubs. People seem to be in love betting-wise with the early sample in the Nationals. I just don't see it. I'm going to take the Cubbies.
Oh, look at Alzolay's road numbers. Absolutely hideous. That's why. Ron?
I'm going to take the over in that Phillies-Pirates game. I initially wanted to take the Phillies, but I just really can't back them after seeing how they've been playing the last couple of days. This is going to be Kyle Gibson's Phillies debut. And before he got traded, he really wasn't pitching well. I mean, he had 8 walks in his last start.
He got absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
He couldn't even find the plate last time.
Yeah, I mean, eight walks in his last start against the Astros. And
career high. Career high.
Yeah, it's most people's career high. It's insane. But
on the other side, there was just as many walks too. So it was.
Both teams were all over the bases. But until he shows me he can pitch in a Phillies uniform, which really isn't easy for most of the guys in that staff, I'm going to take the over here. I think both teams score plenty. Mitch Keller on the other side for the Pirates hasn't pitched in the majors since June 10th, and he has stuff. He has good stuff, but he really hasn't shown anything in the major leagues yet. And until he does, I'm just going to continue to fade him. So I'll take the over in that Phillies-Pirates.
Right.
And for me, I'm going to take the Pirates. Kyle Gibson, 0-3 his last 3 starts, 7.79 ERA, 22 hits, 16 runs over that time. Yeah, he's been lit up like a Christmas tree. But his counterpart's definitely been lit up like a Christmas tree as well. So definitely the over's a good play there as well. But I like the Pirates. I think Pirates come out with the win in the end. We know what that Phillies bullpen can do as well. So give me the Pirates. And the other one I like, I'll take the under in the Jays game. You look at the Royals 8-0 now to the under as a dog, and the Jays 7-0 to the under now. Their last 7 on AstroTurf. I'm going to take the under, Jays and Royals.
I'll take a shot with the Royals here. Why not? Keller's pitched well his last 3 starts against better, as good at hitting lineups as this one. The price is just ridiculous on this thing, so I always go for the value.
Yeah, Berrios almost a 3. Yikes. I think that's who's going to go for the Jays.
No, it's
not official yet, is it?
Yeah,
but I think that's who's going to go.
Well, we know he's not good, so
no.
Definitely.
Who's not good? Berrios.
He's not a minus 300 pitcher. I'll tell you.
No, he's not a minus 300 pitcher.
But yeah, no, nice.
Well, that's what the price is.
Yeah.
Definitely all the value of the Royals.
Blue Jays plus 1.5.
Nice.
Too good.
What is that, Jim?
Minus 450 or something.
Yeah, right.
Hot diggity.
Tigers, Orioles, Braves, Brewers, White Sox, Indians. Rod.
For me, I'm going to take the under in the Orioles and Detroit game. I think 10 is too many. I don't see. You look at the Orioles 7-3 to the under their last 10. Detroit 5-5. So it's a coin flip for them over under. But I think we got a lower scoring game with Spencer Watkins on the mound. He's been solid for the Orioles. So I'll take the under 10 runs. Orioles, Detroit.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I think the under is a strong play there. I lean to the Orioles, but I think either way it's going to be a lower scoring game. I do think Baltimore's offense is going to come early against Alexander. The Orioles like left-handed pitching, one of the best teams against lefties in the league. And Spencer Watkins, like Rod said, nice young arm, pitched pretty well this season, 3.10 ERA. So I'll take the under that steep total in the Orioles-Tigers.
Yeah, for me, two strong plays for me in this time slot. I really like the Baltimore Orioles and Spencer Watkins on the mound. Nice story guy, almost out of baseball. Has been pitching fairly well for the Orioles. The Orioles are playing better baseball. Tigers seem to be slumping a little bit. And then I like the Atlanta Braves on the run line, Charlie Morton. Brett Anderson's pitching well above his stat line, and this guy's not good. I think anytime I see a line like this, it looks like they're begging you to take the Brewers here. So I'm going to go Braves on the run line. I think they blow out Milwaukee.
I like the under in that Braves-Brewers game. I thought yesterday's game looked like the under lock, and Dansby Swanson hits a grand slam. I think he heard me badmouth him on the show. Seemed everyone I talk crap about on the show had a grand slam yesterday, or hit an 800-foot home run or something. It was just one of those days. Happens, you know. At least I put myself out there. I don't just sit there with my head in the camera. Anyways.
No, I'm trying to look up Lopez's numbers here. Another White Sox run deck.
So I'm going to take another shot at the under in that Braves-Brewers game. I don't know. Just take another shot with it. I don't love that time slot. I think the Orioles maybe over the Tigers. I don't know. Nothing too attractive there. Got the Mariners and the Rangers, two pitchers that give up the most home runs per innings pitched in baseball, going at it there in Texas. We got the Cardinals and the Twins. Michael Pineda at plus 135. You never see that. And you got the Angels wheeling out the second coming of Jason Isringhausen in Reed Detmers. Romanelli, Reed Detmers guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's lightening up in the minors. A lot of strikeouts. That's what I like to see. But as far as these games go, like Mitch mentioned, we got the home run derby in the Mariners and Rangers. Marco Gonzalez, although he's still giving up those long balls, he's pitched well as of late. The Mariners have won in 4 of his last 5 games that he's pitched in. And Mike Foltynewicz is just he's breaking records left and right. He gave up 3 home runs last start. He gave up 4 the previous start, and then 3 again before that one. So 10 in his last 3 games. He's lost. The Rangers have lost in the last 4 of his starts. I got to take the Mariners, who are in a playoff race. I'll take them on the money line on the road. I think they get the win, bounce back after yesterday's loss. And I'll also take the under in that Twins-Cardinals game. You know, Michael Pineda, not really my cup of tea usually, but the Cardinals' bats are really struggling this season. It's probably the biggest reason why they are where they are in the standings. And then Adam Wainwright on the other side for the Cardinals. Man, he's pitched fantastic this season. In his age 39 season, he has a 3.51 ERA, 125 innings pitched. He goes deep into ball games. I think he controls the Twins' bats as much as he can. It goes 7 strong innings. I think we see the under hit in the Twins-Cardinals.
Comeback player of the year. It's going to be Adam Wainwright.
Yeah. I agree. He's definitely been team MVP of the Cardinals.
He's the comeback player of the year. Comeback player of the year. Definitely like the Cardinals in that spot for me. Rod?
For me, I'm going to go with you look at that Texas and Mariners game, and you automatically think you're going to go over. I'm going to take the under 8.5 runs. It opened at 9, and now it's down to 8.5, and so everybody's humping on that over. So I'm going to take it under. You look Texas 10-4 to the under their last 14 versus a pitcher with a whip over 1.3. And you look at the Mariners, Gonzalez's last road starts, they're 4-0 to the under. So I'm going to take the under Mariners, Texas.
My home run prop guy is not playing today. So I'll have to pick a new one. VIP show.
The only one I like in that group.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, in that grouping, I'm going to have to steal that one from Rod, man. So don't send me any emails. Love that under pick. Everybody does expect that game to go over, humping all over the over, and it's dropped about half a point. Also like the Mariners to bounce back, like my junior Sharp said. I think Marco Gonzalez hasn't had the best season this year, but he's a solid veteran arm. Definitely a lot better than Fultonavich. Mariners must-win spot. They got to get W's. I like the Mariners there. And then Twins and Cardinals, I think it goes under the total. You got Wainwright, who's been solid, consistent all season. Pineda. I mean, the Twins aren't really scoring a ton of runs. I think it easily goes under the 8.
How you like Luis Arraez hitting cleanup for the Twins? Only 1 home run this season, but the guy who gets plenty of base hits, hitting 300 everywhere he goes.
I like the Cardinals. That one. Got the Giants in the what are you selling today? Anyone? Brian?
Yeah, for me, I'm ready to start August with a winning day after yesterday's clunker of 1 and 2. I got my Sunday high roller 3-pack, just $40 for my 3 best bets at pickdogs.com. Also have my football packages up. Look for another big college football season, so make sure you check those out.
And we got my Super Sunday trio today. Start August the right way with my top 3 MLB plays, 3 moneyline winners. Let's do it together. Check it out. Pick Dogs Premium.
Yeah, and I got a Supreme Sunday 3-pack going. These 3 best bets. Perfect opportunity to sweep the board and end the weekend a massive winner. Because these 3 bets are totally in our favor to crush the books and slide into the cash. On the board, Supreme Sunday.
I got an MLB 3-pack, and I have a bonus play as well for my long-term subscribers. Appreciate everyone that took part in the Christmas and July sale. Got a lot of people grabbed yearly packages. So, yeah, hopefully we can deliver a lot of winners for you. Not my best start to things yesterday, that's for sure. But, oh well. Played the back of my baseball card, and we'll get them. Don't love today's card, to be honest with you, but we do what we can do. Sometimes you don't love it, and it comes through for you. Sometimes you love it, and it's like, it's death, and that's why it's betting. But we'll get them. Anyways, got 4 more games here. Got the Giants and the Astros. Been a great series.
Yeah.
Great series. Padres and the Rockies. And who would have thought the Giants were going to win 8-6, in the Giants-Astros game? Giants-Astros, you got the Padres against the Rockies. You got the Diamondbacks against the Dodgers, and the finale of the Rays and Red Sox. The Rays, they're a half game back now of the Red Sox.
In front.
They're in front. Half game in front of the Red Sox. So, yeah, it's kind of sent them a message there yesterday too. They were a lot of ass slapping, a lot of ass slapping there in Tampa. Brian?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants here. Luis Garcia has been hit around a little bit as of late. Giants 34-17 at home. I think these are the games the Giants usually cash, and you get a nice price. And I'm going to do a small lean to the Arizona Diamondbacks just because I hate the LA Dodgers. Jose Urias not a minus 235 pitcher on the road. So I'm going to take a crack with the Arizona, but my better bet's the Giants.
And for me, I like 2 in this slot. I like the under in the Astros Giants. Luis Garcia didn't pitch well, probably his worst start of the year in his last outing, but before that, 2 strong starts, and overall this season he's pitched real well. And on the Giants side, Logan Webb's done everything San Francisco's wanted from him, having a good year. In his last 5 starts, he's pitched well. I think, with the first 2 games of this series have been high-scoring, entertaining games. I think this one's going to be very entertaining as well, but I think we're going to see runs that are going to be hard to come by. So I'm going to take the under in the Giants-Astros, and I also like the Colorado Rockies on the road as the dog here. Won the last 2 games, looking for the series win. They're now facing the rookie Reese Kinnear. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's only pitched in.
Isn't it Nur? Nur. Usually the K is
silent.
I heard the Padre announcers at Kinnear, but
did they?
Oh.
Yeah. But
normally the K is silent in something like
yeah.
that. Maybe they don't know. It's possible they didn't know either.
Yeah. They usually don't know the rookies. Like Tyler McGill is now Tylor, but
yeah.
Anyway, he's only pitched.
He's got a brother with that. He's got a brother, right? Trevor.
Yep, Trevor, and he has another one too. I think it's Taylor.
Yeah.
I think they all have T's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think the other brothers in the major leagues is.
One of them is.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, one of them is. One of them works in car sales, but I don't know.
But,
Cooper Manning. Cooper Manning.
Kinnear, he is pitching pretty well in the minor leagues, but just not a favorite. Minus 135 price. He does have a problem with the walk. He gives up a good amount of free passes. Doesn't really strike out too many guys either. And Austin Gomber's pitched real well for the Rockies. To have a sub-4 ERA pitching at Coors Field half your games, you're a solid pitcher, and Gomber's done well as of late. So I'll take a shot with the Rockies getting the plus money.
And for me, I'm going to take the Giants over the Astros. Giants win the rubbery match. And came back and they won 8-6. They just say no. They have this no quit effort. So I like the Giants there in that one. And I like the under in the Dodgers and Diamondbacks game. The under is 6-0 in the Dodgers' last 6 games following a win. They're also 4-0 in their last 4 of Game 3 of a series. And you look at Caleb Smith. He's 4-0 to the under. His last 4 starts after allowing 5+ runs in the previous game. So, yeah, he had a bad outing last game. He'll bounce back in this one. I like the under. Dodgers, Arizona.
Caleb Smith was the starter in that 22-1 Dodger win.
Yep.
22-1.
I think he's pissed about that.
Yeah. I think he has a little better.
You can be pissed all you want. It really doesn't matter.
That's all right. I know you're on the Dodgers. It's okay.
Oh yeah,
You're a minus 235 guy.
Yeah, it's me. I'm getting I can't wait to see the Marlins to confirm it's Alcantara, so I can go back to my -2, -3, -4 on the Marlins. It's like
I'll be happy if they win. I'm going to back the Marlins too. I'm not as ballsy as you.
I just want to make sure it's Alcantara. I'm not even sure what it is.
I think it's Alcantara, but
no, it's Alcantara.
It's Alcantara.
Yeah,
that's what they call him. That's what they call it. They call him Alcantara on when they pitch. That's why I call him in the videos.
I asked my Dominican friend. He said he couldn't explain why it's Alcantara, because if it's in the Spanish language it's Alcantara, but he said it's just Alcantara for some reason.
Alcantara.
It's a really common last name.
Yeah, it is super common. That one in Franco seems to be increasingly popular. It was Franco.
Fulton Davis.
It was Franco, now it's Franco. Used to be Mike Vick, now it's Michael Vick. Used to be.
Well, when you get older, it turns into Michael.
No, it's when the guys go pro. It becomes Michael. Mike Jordan. Well, his always. I mean, I'm just saying. Guys, they do it when they go pro. Carson Wentz looking at another big season, Brian, for you.
Who?
Carson Wentz.
I just said he was going to have a good season for the Colts, but how am I going to know that he's going to not even play?
Well, because
his rookie card.
I don't know, because that's what he does every single year. I have no idea. Let's say
the Colts. We'll see.
Any other NFL teams we're looking at now that we're in August? Got a couple minutes here to kill. Any NFL teams that you think are going to be the biggest surprises, like to the upside?
I do think we see a bounce back year from the Jets, but not quite where they need to be to make a playoff run. But
one thing you have to remember about the NFL, okay, and this is as true as the day is long. And most people they don't, they never buy into it until it's too late. But this is the truth. And you can go back the last 25 years, and it's always true. Half the teams that made the playoffs last year will not make the playoffs this year. Half the teams that didn't make the playoffs will make the playoffs. So there will be a team that, rises quickly that did not make the playoffs.
What about the Las Vegas Raiders?
I like the direction that they've gone with all the speed on offense. They've gone speed, and speed. And I like that. I think that's always a good way to go. They, you can't coach that. And when you look at the Raiders' offseason acquisitions, it's all speed guys. So I think Gruden, has a solid understanding of the game. And I think that's what he believes is going to take it to get it done. And I'm kind of have to agree with him. I think the Raiders are super dangerous.
For some reason they have them as the worst team in the AFC West, the books, but I don't get it.
I mean, it's a tough division, but I still think they're better than the Broncos.
You think if Patrick Mahomes went down, you think that the Chiefs could sustain it?
No.
So, they're one hit away,
You can bet them to win over 8.5 games at plus 210. So
the Raiders.
I think they could get 9. Yeah, I think the Raiders could.
Well,
get
they play
9
the
wins.
Chiefs twice. They play the Chargers twice. They play Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. Right?
I think the Chiefs are going to have a down year. I think there's problems with the coaching staff. And, I see the Chiefs having a down year. But.
I think the Rams have a better team, obviously, than last year, but their schedule is super hard. I mean, they have to play the Buccaneers. They drew the NFC West. They have a really tough schedule. So I'm not sure they're going to be. They play the Ravens on the road. It's not the schedule you want to see if you're a Rams fan, but.
Well, the schedule is the schedule. You got, to win it all, you're going to have to beat good teams. That's just kind of the way that it is. But I think the Raiders, when go back to the Raiders, when we look at the depth chart here, you got Ruggs, who's a flyer. John Brown they picked up, these guys they're going to be fast. Kenyon Drake.
They got a good tight end.
Kenyon Drake, more speed. It's like
2 running backs that are butt kickers.
They're going to be tough.
And a veteran quarterback.
And they've drafted defense for a while, So you got to figure Farrell's going to be good. They picked up Solomon Thomas from the Niners. He was what, 3rd overall when he came out? 3rd overall draft pick, 1st round. And he played like that in San Francisco. I wouldn't be surprised if he got serious playing time there.
Yeah, I think the Raiders make the playoffs.
They got Casey Hayward, one corner.
I think they can grab the wild card.
Mullen.
I like the way they looked. They beat the Chiefs last year. They beat the Saints. They looked good in certain spots. They could look good on the national stage.
Watch out for the Vikings. Odd numbered year. I think the Vikings have a good year. Calvin Cook back there, he can run beast.
I think
they got the pieces at wide receiver too, so I like the Vikings.
I expect Washington to be a lot better too. A little bit out of the turmoil, a year removed, from a lot of turmoil, and they have serious defense. And you got a defensive coach,
serious
man.
Defense. Yeah.
Got a defensive team with a defensive coach, and it's like getting some of those low-scoring games. Give yourself a chance to win. You just need a good kicker if you have a team like that.
Yeah,
you need to have a really good kicker. You need Matt Stover.
The prop for the Raiders.
Some
Raiders
solid
just,
that doesn't miss them at all and hits them from 50, 55, and
That's all you need is a guy that can hit consistently from 48 to 52.
Yeah.
That's really what you need.
As a plane, Raiders to make the playoffs is plus 350, so that's not a bad payoff.
No, I like it. I like it. Who's the disappointing team?
Eagles.
Well, I mean, I don't think the expectations
listen, they're
are there.
They're nobody expects them to do
Yeah,
anything
you gotta
anyway.
have
so.
expectations.
Okay.
First.
Come on.
It's a 17-game schedule, and I think you got to look at some of these. You got to look at some of the teams some of the players and teams that traditionally have injury problems, and then you have players that, like Ben Roethlisberger, 17 games on that guy who played. While the Steelers' offensive line has been good the last couple of years, and they're not, they got rid of some of the key pieces this year, right? But they were not good for a good portion of his career in the middle, and he took a lot of hits, man. And he was for years he was the heaviest quarterback in the NFL. So he unfortunately not only just took a hit, he took another hit and another hit and another hit. Right, while he stood in there. So I think the Steelers probably have some problems. I think that the biggest regression is going to be the Tennessee Titans. I know they went out and got Julio Jones, who certainly helps, but at the same time, they lost players too. And you still have Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback, and as we saw in the playoffs, he's not the answer to the riddle here, right? He's the problem, and then you go further down the depth chart. If he goes out, now you're really in trouble. Logan Woodside and Deshaun Kaiser are further down the depth chart for them. So Julio Jones with Josh Reynolds and A.J. Brown. They got rid of Corey Davis, who was a former top 5 or top 10 draft pick, right? I don't know, man.
I can see Tampa Bay taking a step back.
Yeah, I think the issue with Tampa Bay is that they weren't that great during the regular season. So it's kind of like
how long is Brady going to go?
But it's not just Brady. They have, basically former all-pros at every position. It's
and that division's not too strong either.
No.
Well, it would surprise me to see Carolina take a little step forward
Yeah.
this year.
But I don't know if it's enough.
I think the
to win the
Saints have a
division.
bad year.
Yeah.
Well, Carolina has the guy with the most to prove, right? And that's Sam Darnold. He's got the most to prove. It's like, I don't think he ever really got the fair chance in
My Jets.
in the Jets. I don't think he ever got the fair shake. He had the worst coach, right? He had the worst coach in the whole NFL. And they didn't, he wasn't set up for success.
Taking the Jets in week 1. Just so
I think
everyone knows.
the issue with the Panthers last year, though, was that Christian McCaffrey missed the whole season.
Yeah. It was a big loss.
That was big, yeah.
They were a gritty team though all year. The Panthers.
They have a good coach. He plays. When you look at his final year at Baylor, right, when they won all those games were like 3 or 4 point games. They weren't like blowout wins. It wasn't like the Art Briles Baylor teams. They were all tight games. And I think that's his style, is to get into these tight games, give yourself a chance to win at the end. But without McCaffrey, it's tougher to do that, because we saw them make some big mistakes that went really against them. But I think getting Chuba Hubbard there could be one of the steals of the draft, because he's a game breaker too. And I think getting drafted late, I could see him have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I mean, here's a guy that was talked about for the Heisman for a good portion of the year, and then all of a sudden, where was he drafted? Like, 5th round or something. So usually when a guy gets drafted in the 5th round, he's a running back. It usually means that he tested slow at the combine. That's what that generally means. So be interesting to see how that all plays out. Yeah, sometimes the guys look super fast, in college, and then they get to the NFL and they're not nearly as fast as they looked the college level. Because Chuba did not have a good year last year.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Jags have a chance in the South.
Nope.
No.
Oh, well, with the Colts, if they don't have a starting quarterback, and then you got the Titans are tough.
You know, the Texans might not be as bad as we saw last year either. They hold on to
plus 2,700 to win the division.
Oh, this is a team. You know, I'll tell you what. I think they've missed the playoffs once or twice in the last 20 years. The Texans, so certainly not out of the question. You know, David Johnson. You know, if he can regain any kind of form. Phillip Lindsay they picked up. They got Mark Ingram. They got Rex Burkhead. So they have guys that have high ceilings. They picked up Anthony Miller. So with all that wide receiver bullshit that they got rid of Fuller and they got rid of, last year the other guy that went to Denver. Oh man, what's his name? DeAndre Hopkins. Right. He didn't go to Denver. He went to
that's Arizona.
Arizona.
Right. So, but Anthony Miller is a gamer. I mean, this guy, he's played with the worst quarterbacks of anybody. This guy's had more overthrows and underthrows to him than any receiver in the entire NFL over the last 5 years. I mean, I think there's some interesting upside here on the Texans. We're probably going to get some good value on them. Vernon Hargraves. What a disappointment that guy has been. Anyways, we'll have plenty of time to talk football.
Miami Dolphins are plus money to make the playoffs, plus 120 payout. I think the Dolphins get a playoff spot.
I'm tired of hearing the Dolphin fans reverting back to their undefeated season.
I think somebody's sticking you.
Not the same game now as back then. What does that mean?
He's saying it's harder to go undefeated now than it was back in the 60s.
So when Babe Ruth hit 60 home runs, right? There was no black players. Was it easier to hit home runs then or now?
Well, they had a shorter season.
They had a shorter season. They also had less players and less teams. So it was more consolidation. There wasn't the 100 farm teams either. But at the same time, there was no black players. When Oklahoma won, 60 in a row or whatever it was, there was no black players, right? So is there any meaning to that? Zero. It's like it's an excluded game. Can you imagine baseball with no Hispanic or black players, no minority players at all? Can you even imagine it?
Nope.
But that's what it was.
No.
That's what it was.
That's
the
what it was,
27
yeah.
Yankees, murderers row, right? That's what they were up against. Dizzy Dean and all those guys they pitched, They would have never had to face, yesterday we talked about Miggy. They'd never have to face Miggy, It's like
Mike Foltynewicz would be an ace.
Yeah. It's a different game. I don't know. I think the Dolphins need to figure some things out, I think they're going to figure some things out this year, but I think
they're very well coached.
They're very well coached, but I think that they're not going to beat themselves, but they have to put Tua in position to play within himself. The thing also about Tua that we didn't really get to see last year is this guy has an arm that can throw it 70 yards down the field on a rope, and they didn't really do that. So this year they got receivers, the Dolphins did, that can stretch the field. I'm a Dolphin season ticket holder since the day the team started. Right? My family has season tickets since the day the team started. We had 8 seats. Now we have 4. I still have them. I haven't been to a game since they moved to the new stadium. That's how long it's been since I've been. But at the same time, I'm cautiously optimistic about them. I love the Waddle pick because it's so un-Dolphin-like. right? It's like they've tried that approach before to get a fast wide receiver in the first round, and they totally missed. You know, it was one of the biggest misses. You know, this is a franchise that has drafted probably the worst of any team over the last 25, 30 years, and that's why they haven't won a Super Bowl. That's why they haven't been a playoff team. Back when Don Shula was coaching, they were a great drafting team. They would pick up guys in the second, third, fourth, fifth round that could, you know, go on to be Hall of Famers. Now it's like, you know, Deion Jordan and Ted Ginn, you know, are your first round draft.
Ted Ginn, that was a good one.
Oh, ridiculous. Cam Cameron was fired on that. You know, it's tough to win when you're drafting in reasonable positions and not getting the most out of it. In today's NFL, it's not like the old days where you draft a guy and he's a lifer on your team if you want him to be. Now it's like you get 4 years out of these guys. So if you have the number 1 overall pick, you still only get 4 years out of them at the most. So it's like you got to make it count and build around these guys. The Dolphins are trying to do it the Patriots way, and man, it's hard. I understand, you know, the defense. I get it. I've said this a million times, you know, on this show. I've said it ever since, you know, before we ever even had live shows, you know, on how defense works at big time football. And that is you get 2 corners that can cover man, and then you get a giant nose tackle that occupies space in the middle, and then everybody else blitzes on every single play. And that is how you play defense. And the Dolphins are trying to do that. They have 2 really good corners, Jones and Howard. Howard unhappy. He's probably going to have to go, you know. And this will be the biggest loss for the Dolphins at cornerback since Sam Madison. And when they lost Sam Madison, they would have never been the same. It took them 20 years to replace him. More than that.
More than that, yeah.
More than that. They never replaced him.
No, yeah. That one was tough.
That was a tough pill to swallow. But you should have let me know, Billy Jackson. I would have given you my seats. I would have sold you mine for whatever the cost was, plus parking, whatever. Yep, 50-yard line.
Now he's like, oh no, what?
I don't go to the games. I give mine to some guy, you know, and he sells them. I think he just sells them online. I have no idea. I mean, he probably makes money off them. I have no idea what he does. I don't go to the games. I wanted to get, when they gave Ryan Tannehill the extension, I was like, that's it. I don't want to be a season ticket holder anymore. That was just painful to watch as a Dolphin fan. Painful.
No, Tannehill's not that bad.
They took Ryan Tannehill in that draft. He was a wide receiver out of Texas A&M. It was the worst draft choice. It was one of those draft choices that just crippled them for years and years and years. Just crippled them. He's been okay in Tennessee, but we saw in the playoffs what he was. He's nothing. When you're up against a good team, you know, when you need him to stand up. He doesn't stand up. He gets stood on.
No, they beat the Ravens that one year, didn't they? Playoffs. Tannehill.
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Ravens were the number 1 seed.
Derrick Henry have the monster.
Yeah. Still, if he was, still need a quarterback to hold things down.
I think Derrick Henry's on my list of players most likely to regress this season.
Yeah, he was on my fantasy team last year. I don't know about this year.
Yeah, I would say he's one of the players who probably takes a big step back. How about Devonta Freeman signing with the Saints?
They worked him, though. Look how much he worked. You've seen it with what's his name?
Taking a lot of hits.
St. Albert, or in St. Louis there. Comes in and they just work you hard. And it only takes so much.
All right, well, we'll have plenty of time to talk football. It's always good to take the ball out of the package, maybe take a look at it. Maybe it's, a little bit of a rainy day. You don't get to go out and throw it around, but, you at least it's out of the package. Kind of get to look at it. And,
at it, touch it,
yep.
feel it.
But Thursday we have preseason football.
Yeah, I'm already getting a feel for that game. So I pretty much know who I'm going to go with.
Who's playing? Who's going to see quality minutes for the Steelers in this game?
Well,
name
Cowboys
three players.
And Steelers. Right now, I'm leaning
three.
Cowboys, but we're going to see how it goes.
Well, name three players that are going to have quality minutes for the Cowboys.
Well,
you said you've researched it. You've looked at what other people have bet on.
I'm not saying I'm on anything yet. I'm just saying this is the Hall of Fame game. It's not like
who's starting? Who's going to be the guy that's going?
They're still figuring. We're figuring this out here. We got to figure it out.
Let's take a look at the Cowboys roster real quick. I'm going to take some guess. So they have the Cowboys actually had, and I don't know if they still have him, but they had the quarterback that was the king. Oh, they do. It's Cooper Rush. I'm on the Cowboys too. Cooper Rush is my preseason homeboy.
We got to see what their rotation is.
Don't even get on my Cooper Rush, Brian. I don't even want to hear about it. Cooper's my man.
How much playing time?
Are you a Chip?
What?
Are you a Chippewa?
No. Cooper Rush is just the king of preseason. He's the undisputed preseason champion.
You got Garrett Gilbert too.
Yeah. It's Cooper's show.
I like Cooper Kupp.
I'll tell you though, typically the Steelers have the better backup quarterbacks over the years. And this one they have Dobbs and Haskins and Mason Rudolph as backups. So Steelers look like would be a more quality preseason team because you're getting better quarterback play across the board.
So when Chuck Noll was the coach of the Steelers, they never won a preseason game. Like those great Steeler teams, they never won a preseason game. And there used to be 6 preseason games back then. They never won a game. He hated preseason. You got to go with the coaches that are like the rah-rah guys, You got to figure the Cowboys, with a new coach, right?
I wonder how much playing time Haskins gets.
Well, they don't have a new coach, right? Second year. Is McCarthy a preseason guy? I don't think so. I don't know. We got to look at it.
I'm kind of talking myself into Steelers looking at the.
Well, Mike Tomlin doesn't care that much either. We'd have to look at these guys' preseason records, but we know who's our preseason guy, though, right? Clappy is our guy in preseason. Clappy's all about it. The other team that always plays,
right.
The other team that always plays well in preseason is the Ravens.
The Ravens, yeah.
Yep.
They're just beasts in the preseason.
Remember when Tyrod Taylor was on the Ravens?
Trace McSorley.
He'll probably see some minutes.
Yeah.
I remember that Joe Montana. He kind of reminded me of Trace McSorley. He came in that game and threw one pass for a touchdown.
I think there are traces of McSorley's in your bloodstream.
Yep, he's on the roster.
Of course he is. He played. Didn't they win? Didn't he have a win?
And Tyler Huntley, he looks all right too.
Oh yeah, Huntley from he played on the Packers. He was good. It's not Tyler Huntley. It's
Yeah, it's Tyler Huntley.
Then it's not the same guy, right?
He's from Utah.
Oh, he's not the UC. Oh, that guy's good.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was the guy from UCLA a couple years ago. Remember he played on the Packers.
Yeah, no.
Because it says Lamar Jackson's on reserve COVID right now.
We're going to see any Jordan Love action? Well, Lamar Jackson's not going to play in first preseason.
No, not in the first week. He's probably not going to
play in any of the preseason.
Yeah.
How about Jordan? We're going to see Jordan Love?
I think so, yeah.
So maybe
probably a good amount of them.
Yeah, I'd look at the Packers.
Love me some Jordan Love. How about Taysom? Let's see some Taysom Hill. Interesting.
Yeah, I'd get into that probably.
So the Packers' third string quarterback's Kurt Benkert. God, the Packers still have the worst wide receivers, right? It's like,
oh
yeah. The worst. if Aaron Rodgers plays and everything.
Well,
A.J.
he's gonna
Dillon
play.
was pretty good on the Packers last year. Remember when he came in? He was good. Randall Cobb back in town. Give me the Packers. Let me make some roster moves for them. Got to juggle that cap. I think where they, you need to find like that burner that can play. How about if you give Aaron Rodgers like one of those little scat backs, like the guy from Buffalo? Give him a guy like that. He's never really had the Darren Sproles,
Yeah.
He's never had that guy, but I bet you with one of those, he would be fantastic.
Oh, man. Yeah.
A Kamara or Sproles, something like that. Guy that really plays out of the backfield. Lions have the worst wide receivers. Let's look. It's always possible. When you talk Lions and worse. I mean,
anything's possible.
This is a team that they had Matthew Stafford. Now they trade for Jared Goff. We're gonna find out what Stafford's really made of, though.
The Lions are still stocked with running backs, aren't they?
David.
That's all they got.
David.
Lions have a running back on my fantasy watch.
David
I'm
Blau.
sure they do.
David Blau still with the varsity. Tyrell Williams, Brashard Perriman, and Quintez Cephas. Ooh, it's gonna be a lousy year. Geronimo Allison.
We'll see those guys on Thanksgiving.
Ooh. What is it? All right.
I'm under Detroit win totals this year. Ooh. 5.5. They're not winning 6 games.
Tough division, bad team.
Yeah. Maybe under 5.5.
Only one Monday Night Football to open the season this year. Normally they've had 2, but just one this year. It's Baltimore and Vegas.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
Maybe.
Where's it in? Las Vegas?
Yep, in Vegas. Allegiant
Wow,
Stadium.
that's gonna be a good game.
Joe D'Amico's been there. He went there for
Put me down for Vegas.
What did he go for? Some concert, Garth Brooks or something?
Garth Brooks, yeah.
Garth Brooks.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We had fun. Open the NFL can by next weekend. Be back in full NFL swing. I'll be doing my first NFL video this week.
I think you got to look at the Packers over the Texans in that first week because how much are they going to expose Tyrod Taylor? Because you don't know if Deshaun Watson's going to be able to. So you're going to have Jeff Driscoll and Davis Mills quarterbacking for the Texans in that game, most likely. Anyway, so that's one I'm looking at. It's the Packers and Texans.
If they're playing the Jaguars.
I'm talking about August 14th.
Oh.
I'm looking at stuff here. Get ready.
Okay.
So I think Tyrod Taylor will end up starting for the Texans by the time the season rolls around. If Watson gets in trouble.
What are the odds of Jake Luton making the Jags this year?
I love me some Luton.
I'll tell you who's big on the Luton is Ruffalo.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like a heavy dose of the Luton. So if you look at this linebacking core, right? Joe Schobert, Miles Jack, Caleb Chiasen, and C.J. Henderson. You say, you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad.
No.
That's the Jags.
I tell you, the
They'll
Jags.
definitely take a step forward, but I don't know if it's enough.
Maybe win that division. You never know.
Carlos Hyde. Carlos
stop.
Hyde's third string on the Jags for running backs with Urban Meyer coaching. I'm gonna guess he sees some minutes. Travis Etienne, of course, excited to see he could be, the guy. Trevor Lawrence. But your wide receivers DJ Chark, Marvin Jones Jr.
Not bad.
and LaVisca Chenault Jr.
Not terrible.
And in the preseason, they'll have a good quarterback rotation with C.J. Beathard and Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, go Jags.
Where are they going?
It's all about rotation.
Rod will be like with his Jags hat week 7. Jags will be like
Rod will have his Jacksonville Jags hat.
Yeah, Jags will be like on a 2-game winning streak. Rod will have his Jags hat on.
Well, yeah, I got a box of leftover mustaches from last year. I can definitely put on a little mustache. Whole box of them. We got a box of mustaches. That's why I shave. See, you let the secret out of the bag. I got the box of mustaches, so then I can actually use a fake mustache.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Have a great day. Let's make it a winning day.
My parlay.
Oh, we didn't do parlays. We didn't do parlays.
Yeah, my parlay for the MLB, we're going to take the Pirates, the Giants, and under in the Jays game.
Ron?
For me, I'm going to take the under in the Cardinals Twins, the under in the Giants Astros, and the Colorado Rockies on the money line.
Brian?
For me, a simple 2-game parlay. I'm going to take the Baltimore Orioles on the money line and the Chicago Cubbies on the money line.
I'll go Marlins, Cardinals, and Marlins, Cardinals, and I don't know. I'll just go with the Marlins and the Cardinals. That's it. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day. Try and act more professional tomorrow. Let's make it a winning day. It's fun to talk NFL. Maybe it's time to dust off the magazines I bought and take a look.